Welcome to Frontiers on Film, presented by SBS Australia. Through a close engagement of cultural frontiers, several key ideas throughout history are present, such as the systemic oppression of minority groups, demonstrating power struggles, and the lasting impact of colonial legacies, where prejudices and stereotypes still prevail, resulting in multi-generational power imbalances which still remain.
Cultural frontiers can be defined as a clash of two groups with differing ideas relating to race, religion, culture, and ideology. Ivan Sen's film Mystery Road and Gregory Howarth's Remember the Titans both represent the cultural frontiers occurring at racial boundaries in different societies. Sen, an Indigenous Australian filmmaker, draws on his first-hand personal experiences of racism and prejudice present in Australian society to communicate cultural margins in his film. Similarly, Howard, an African-American man who grew up in a low socio-economic family, aims to expose through his films the prejudice and stereotypes he faced, where both seek to expose the stereotypes by portraying an extremist version of the frontiers.
The resonant notions of the systemic oppression of cultures in Mystery Road and Remember the Titans reveals the lasting impact of colonialism present within modern society. The absence of resolution demonstrates the ongoing nature of the prejudice existing within Australian society built on dispossession. Sen draws on his experience as an Indigenous Australian filmmaker in the creation of his crime fiction film Mystery Road. The recurring motif of Aboriginal people being symbolised by wild dogs reveals the imbalance in power and prejudices faced in Australian society.
People were too scared to go out at night. Dogs had learned to travel on the subway.
Reflect the resistance from white Australians of Aboriginals becoming part of mainstream society. Sen reflects many of the negative stereotypes placed on Indigenous people in Australian society.
Although Remember the Titans and Mystery Road explore the ideas of oppression and the lasting impacts of colonialism, in Remember the Titans, cultural frontiers within the team are resolved, dissonating with Mystery Road. Whilst there is here a clear lack of removal of cultural frontiers with the outside world, Howard highlights that some people or groups do not feel negatively about others. The football team initially faces hostility, distrust, and resentment due to the integration of the high school. The scene at Gettysburg serves as a metaphor for the team's own struggle against cultural frontiers and their racial prejudice. Like the soldiers who fought on the battlefield, the Titans also find themselves on opposing sides due to their racial tensions. The scene emphasizes the brutality of that period and highlights the deep-rooted historical oppression faced by African Americans, including the injustices such as slavery, segregation, and institutional discrimination.
Both Mystery Road and Remember the Titans illustrate the lasting impact of colonialism through the oppression of minority groups. Sen's motivation can be drawn from his aim to reveal such prejudices faced by Indigenous people. Sen reveals the divide between police and Aboriginals, as the naive children illustrate negative stereotypes and ideology against the police, which have been taught to them, passed down by family and friends. Although the children have not experienced pessimistic altercations with police, the attitudes adopted by these children serves as a further representation of their cyclical oppression. Through the study of this scene, the lasting impact of colonialism and the oppression still existing can be vividly seen.
When studying Mystery Road and Remember the Titans comparatively, a dissonance is revealed through the way each text represents a resolution of cultural frontiers. Remember the Titans demonstrates a small-scale resolution where racial conflicts within the team are resolved. However, the resolution with greater society is not, resonating with the ideas from Mystery Road. Additionally, the interaction with the police officer is a direct symbol of resolution, where the stereotypical African-American people and the police having a conflicting relationship is contradicted by the officer complimenting Julie as
Heck of a game you boys played last night. Thank you, officer.
Furthermore, the intertextuality of
Superman!
Hey man, what's going on?
in a positive context, juxtaposing its prior use, reflects Howard's life and supports a partial resolution. Here, Howard aims to illustrate how many people have destroyed their prejudices against African Americans and demonstrates the partial resolution of oppression occurring in the world.
Mystery Road demonstrates the oppression of minority groups and racial tensions through the murder of an Indigenous girl, with a lack of care by the non-Indigenous community, highlighting the discrimination of the Aboriginal people. Remember the Titans focuses on the slight resolution of racial oppression through the success of a football team. However, wider society does not accept these values. Through a study of text in tandem, we gain a deeper understanding of the way ideas can remain resonant or grow dissonant across time and place. You're watching Frontiers on Film, presented by Matthew Robson and Oliver Graham.